Saturday when I was going back to my house after, exercising, and when I go to exercise, I don't usually carry my phone, I don't carry money or anything. So when I was getting back to my house, somebody noticed my car, a woman, probably in her 40s or 50s. She actually jumped in my car and started crying. She was selling socks. And she was crying and she was saying, I have been trying to sell just one pair of socks since morning, and I've not been able to, and I can't go back to my children without food. And she said, God has placed you in this place of privilege. Please, even if you're just giving me 100 shillings so that I can go back. Of course, I gave her something, and she was, trusting enough or desperate enough. I don't think I want to call it trusting, or she was desperate enough to throw the socks without the reason. That's why I was telling you I didn't have my phone or anything, because I didn't have any money on me. She threw the socks on me and said, here is my number. May God speak to you to give me something, to give my children. And that alone tells you how desperate we are. And if we don't deal with that crisis, then it is actually going to boomerang on us. People who are hungry are very angry. So as a country, that is something we must address. It is a serious growing concern. People are not able to eat. Before we used to say that people can't afford 3 meals a day. Now people can't afford any meal. And if you have a situation where people can't afford any meal, they are going to get desperate. And when they get desperate, they will, the lower class will go for the middle class. The middle class will go for the upper class. So it will become a class war. So what we need to do is make sure that we actually sort out that crisis. And I don't think we want to look at it in terms of there is no rains, because the rains, ordinarily we don't have rains at this time. But it's a much bigger problem. It could be because of all these things that have been going on and all that, but we must relook at how we are doing things. I sit in the budget committee, and I can tell you, even though we are still talking about austerity measures, I am not convinced that we are doing it the right way. I think there are areas where we should be dealing as though we are in a crisis. And I think we need to be looking at the vulnerable, the marginalized, and areas that actually touch them.